So good afternoon, everyone. We will just resume our yesterday's discussion on LaTeX. So as of now, had you faced any difficulty with running the code or writing the program? Any issues from your side? Did you face any sort of such difficulty? So let me just interpret silence as that there are no problems. So we'll just move on and just present my side. Is the screen visible, ma'am, now? Okay, thank you. Just I need to introduce one more command which is useful to introduce horizontal spacing between words. So generally for for example, if I have written like this, I have just so I just given a large amount of white space between the two statements. This is tiny and this is too small. So let's see what happens now when I run this. Just 1 second. So however space I gave between those two statements in the source code, when the output is being generated, you find that there is no space. There is the space is just same as it was before before you introduce this spacing in the source code. So the reason is that spacing between statements or words are controlled directly or automatically by the LaTeX system subsystem. So just by giving a large amount of white space will not help you. So to get horizontal space between words or sentences, you should be using a command called headspace, means horizontal space. So headspace star, and it takes an argument what is the length of your or width of the space that is required. So I'm just giving it as 1 centimeter. Now let's run and check if it works. So now that has come. So to introduce horizontal space, you should be using /h star. Similarly, there is a similar command for introducing vertical space, that is /v star. It works in a similar fashion. Just 1 second. Sorry, I had to attend an urgent call, that's why. So this is for headspace. Star is for introducing horizontal space, and similarly you can use v space star for introducing vertical space. So that's what I want to, how I wanted to begin with. Now let us try to introduce some list items. So in HTML, you might have come across ordered list, unordered list, etc. Right? So the same can be done in LaTeX as well. So unordered list is achieved using what we call as itemized environment, and ordered list is achieved using the enumerate environment. So let us just look at an example. For example, yeah. So I'm just yeah, maybe I will just create a new section that will be more good. So for creating unordered list, you should be using the itemize environment. So I've been just using this slash begin itemize and slash end itemize. So this is the way you achieve item unordered list in LaTeX. So for example, now whatever you wanted to be included in the list, what you call as list items, the list items are should be mentioned using the command item. So this is an item in unordered list. Let run and this run and see what output is. Yeah. So this is an item in unordered list. So by default, bullet will be used. So unordered lists are unordered list items are listed using bullets by default. So if you want to have another list item, you can just use another item, that is slash item. This is another one. Just run it. Yeah, this is another one. So you can just try out this. Just wait for a few minutes. So hope you got this correctly. Shall I just move on? Okay, fine. Thank you. Now, it's also possible to have nested list, that is list within another list. That is, this item, list item can be another list. So for example, I could have something like this. Yeah, let's have a nested list now. So after this item, you can just go for using item as environment again. So you have list within list. So again, itemize. So item, nested item 1. Nested item 2. So let's see the output for this. So by default, the embedded nested item nested list items will have hyphen for the symbol. Just as the original had bullets, the symbol for the nested list items will be hyphen. This is how you write the code. You can try out this as well. So hope this is also clear. Now, as I told earlier, by default, the unordered list items, the label will be bullet, and for nested unordered list items, the label will be a hyphen. So if you want to have a different symbol other than these two, you can also specify that explicitly in the LaTeX source code. So for example, I want the first item to be labeled with a circle instead of bullet, or maybe even suppose I want to, yeah, maybe I will just try with a circle instead of a bullet. So I can just give like this item inside the pair of square brackets. You can just mention what symbol you want. So for example, I want circle means it should be CARC. So let us run and see what the output is. See, for the first item alone, the circle came. For all others, the default thing came. And another symbol that you can possibly use is a check mark. Check mark is again should be used in math environment. So a check mark will appear as the label for this thing. There are also other symbols. There is a document called list of LaTeX symbols, vast collection of LaTeX symbols. There is a document that you can Google and find that lists all the possible symbols that you can use in LaTeX. There are other symbols like dagger, square, star. Anything can be used. For example, star will look like, suppose I want this to be big star. So you got the star like this. So in this way, you can tweak the labels for the unordered list items. So let us wait for a few minutes so then you can try out all this. Okay, you got error means actually if you are using these symbols, then you should be having the AMS symb package because these are defined in that symbol package. So that should be included in your preface. Vanilla madam, had you included the package AMS symb?
No, sir.
Okay. Can you just try it out? Vanilla madam, is it rectified? Is it working fine now?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Yeah, thank you. So this is how you can change the way the labels are displayed for unordered list items. Now let us move for writing ordered list in LaTeX. So as I told earlier, for getting ordered list, you should be using the enumerate environment. So for example, I can have something like this, maybe a subsection. Ordered list. So I should be using the enumerate environment. And just as you had unordered list items being achieved using the slash item, here also you will be using the slash item. So the same slash item is same for both list, but the environment name differs. One is itemized for unordered list, and the environment is enumerate environment for ordered list. So maybe question 1, question 2, something like this. So this will get numbered now. Let's see the output. Just clear it. So you got the list being enumerated here, 1, 2, 3, etc. So again, you can try this out. And here also you can have a nested list. For example, if you want to have a nested list under the item question 2, let's try out one. So again, begin enumerate. Something maybe answer to answer maybe, or maybe question 2A or some 2A or something. So the by default, as you see here, the nested list items in ordered list will have alphabetic numbering, A, B, C, etc. So you can try out this also. So now suppose you want to, just as we change the labels of unordered list items, it's also possible to change the way the labels are displayed for ordered list items. So for example, I want to use, instead of just 1, 2, 3, suppose I want to use Roman numbers, 1, 2, 3, etc. So let's see how it can be done. So there are multiple ways to achieve that. So one way is to use a package called enum item. So there's a package called enum item that will help you to relabel the list items. So the package to be used is enum item. Yeah, enum item. And once you have included that package in your preface of the source, then let's try using the Roman numerals for the list items. So that is to be that can be achieved by giving it as an option along with the enumerate environment. So I want the label to be Roman, right? So I will be writing it as label equal to label equal to slash Roman star. So you find that the numbering has changed to Roman numerals. And if you want to have this Roman numerals being enclosed in a pair of parentheses, that is also possible. So you can just change it here. Label equal to, just put a pair of parentheses, that's it. So whatever format you give inside this, that will be taken. So that got parenthesized. And suppose if you want to have the nested list items to be labeled with Roman numerals but in lowercase, that's also possible. So I'm just copying it. Instead of capital R, you will be using small r. That's it. So Roman star. So you got the nested list items being labeled with lowercase Roman numerals. So capital R means it will be uppercase, and small r means it will be lowercase. We'll just wait for a few minutes. You can just try it out. Okay, so let's just move on. Now, one more tweak we will try to do. For example, if you want to have the list items to be labeled like capital A, capital B, etc. So, what for that we will be writing the label as alpha star. It's alphabet, right? So, we will be just putting it as alpha star. So you got the label being changed to alphabetic. And suppose you want to have this nested list items to have this the regular 1, 2, 3. So what you can probably do is you can just change this to Arabic star. The Arabic numerals will be used. So this got 1. So you can tweak it the way you want to. Now for the I will just wind it this up with a remark. For example, now what we did was we had to include a separate package enum item for tweaking all this stuff, right? So without even using a package, this is possible to change the way the labels look like. For example, here it's alphabetic, right? So instead of giving it as a label here, I will just use a different way to achieve this. So what I can probably do is I can just write like this, renew command, renew command, the enum I, okay. What you want is alpha, right? So slash alpha. Enum I. Yeah. So you got the same result here also. So this will work without any package. This way of specifying the labels with the label option for the enumerate environment, that will work only when you include the enum item package. But this way of relabeling the items will work even if you don't use the enum item package. So what this really means is that there is a command called slash the enum I, which is automatically used by the enumerate environment, and that is being renewed now. That command is being renewed now. So generally there are various commands in LaTeX. If you want to redefine those commands, it's possible. You are free to redefine any command provided by LaTeX. So for redefining the or existing commands, you should be using slash renew command. And this means that the enum item should have what alphabetic labels. You can also try out this. So I hope there are. We'll have a break, a short break at 2:30, and we'll resume at 2:40. Yeah, fine. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so that's about unordered and ordered lists in LaTeX. So now another feature that I would like to discuss is about including images and tables in LaTeX document. So we'll first see how to include images, then we will go for a break, and after the break we will see how you can include tables in LaTeX document. So for including images, you need to use a package called graphics package. So just include that package, graphics. So be careful about the spelling. It's actually the last symbol is X, not S. Actually, there was an old package by the same name graphics, that is HICS, that was there, but later it was refined to this graphics X package, which has got much more advanced features than the graphics package. Still, the old graphics package can be used, but it's better to use this new package. It's a refined version of the old graphics package, and it has got many exciting features as well. So we'll be using this package. So for including image in your LaTeX document, you should be using the figure environment. So let's have a section here. Figures. So we'll be using the figure environment. And along with the figure environment, you can also specify the placement option. That's where you want the figure to be, whether the figure is to be included at the top of the page or whether it is included at the bottom of the page. You can just include that. So suppose I want it to be at the top of the page, that you will be just using T. So T means top of the page. You can also have what you call as D, that will be bottom of the page. Let's use T. And one thing that I wish to mention here is that even if you use T, LaTeX has its own way of designing the document. So even if you tell the LaTeX system to place your figure at the top of the page, sometimes it will decide for optimization that figure need not be placed at the top of the page. So it can override your command. So if you still want LaTeX not to override your command, that is, you want to tell the LaTeX system in stronger words that it should not override what you say, you can use the exclamation mark. So T exclamation mark means that you are strongly telling LaTeX not to override your commands. So it will be just placed at the top as you wish to. So for including the image, you should be using a command called /include graphics. So suppose I have a JPEG image by the name scenery. So I want to include that inside my document. So I will be just including, I will be just using the figure environment and just specify where the document is to be, where the figure is to be placed. And then you just use the /include graphics command. So scenery is the name of the JPEG or PNG or whatever that you can give. So by default, many file formats are supported. JPEG is supported, JPG is supported, PNG is supported, even PDF is supported. So you need not, all these are supported by default, so you need not give the extension, you can just give the file name. So generally we want the image to be centralized, so then we will be using what you call as slash centering. And to have caption for your image, you can use the command slash caption. A scenery or something. So let's try running this. Okay, let me see, scenery not found. Let me see, in that folder there should be a, okay, so it's scenery.jpg. Let's try that. Okay, let's see, this works. What happened? Just 1 second, let me try to figure it out what the problem is. Okay, I think the problem is because the file size is too heavy for this. It's around 19 MB, so that could be a problem. Let me see. Let me see if I have some. Okay, I have something like here, so let me just copy it there. Yeah, I think this got compiled. See, at the top of the page, you got this image that you included. So now if you find that, so the earlier issue was because of the file that you gave was of huge size. It was around 18 or 19 MB, which the LaTeX subsystem couldn't handle properly. So it really wants the size to be of, the images to be of smaller size. Smaller size in terms of the memory requirements, that's what I mean. Now, seeing this output, you find that this image that you included is a bit enlarged, right? So, suppose you want to scale it down, you can do it. You can reduce or you can shrink. Magnify and shrinking both are possible. So for that, you need to have an option along with include graphics, that is scale. So if you give scale equal to 0.5, it means that the image will be reduced to half its dimensions. This got correctly. So this is how you include an image. Maybe I will, this doesn't look meaningful. I will just change the name. So you find that the figures are numbered automatically, and this is the caption that you gave, and it has come really nice by using the shrink scale option. And if you want to reduce the size, it's also possible, maybe 0.35. That will further reduce the size. This got reduced. Just wait for a few minutes so that you can try this out. So you just break now. I am just keeping this presentation as such, so you can try out, and if you have any issues, we will try to sort it out after the break. Did you try out the figure option? I mean, the figure including figures. Did you get any? Did you face any difficulty? So shall we just move on? Okay, thank you. So this is so using scale option, you will be able to scale the image to the dimension as you wish to have. Now suppose you want to refer to this figure. For example, we might have seen statements like see figure 1. This figure shows something like that. Likewise, you might have seen references to a figure in the textbook, right? So that's also possible with LaTeX. So what we will do is, for that we will be having we should give a label for the figure. So using the label command. So this means that sort. Yeah. So the label for this figure is sort. So the sort is what you call as the key. So whenever you want to refer to this figure, you should be using the key for this. Okay. So label command is used to will help us with referring to the figure, and label whatever you give along with the label command, that will be known as the key for this figure. And whenever you want to refer to this figure, you should be using the key for that particular figure. So for example, and just like this figure. So you want to get the figure number here, right? So for that you will be using what you call a /ref, and inside that you should use the key. So sort is the key for that. So figure ref illustrates insertion sort. So let's see what happens now on running this. So you got okay, you got only one question. You got 2 question marks, right? So generally what this means is that whenever you have references like this /ref, whenever you want to refer to a figure or table like this, generally you need to run it 2 or 3 times. Why? Because in the first pass, during the first run, the keys will be taken care of, and only in the second pass or second run the appropriate keys will be used here in reference command. So whenever using reference command in your document, you need to run your document or execute your document at least twice, so that you can get the references right. So just I'm compiling it once again. So now we will get the output. So figure 1 illustrates insertion sort. So figure 1 is here. So now you find that there is no space between this figure and 1. So if you want to have a space between them, you can just using a tilde symbol. So tilde symbol will just insert appropriate spacing between those two. So let us again run it. So you got a space between figure and 1. So automatically the numbering will be taken. So this is just you had only one image. So if you have multiple images, numbering will be done automatically, and using the key, the numbering will be taken. You need not worry about. Even if you change the that is a big advantage with LaTeX. In Word document or Google Doc, if you the numbering has to be done manually. That's what I believe. I am not so sure about that. I don't know whether recent versions of Microsoft Word allow for automatic numbering. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, earlier versions didn't have any support for automatic numbering of figures and tables. You need to manually insert the number. And whenever you want to change the figure, the references needs to be manually changed. But in LaTeX, that headache is taken away from you. LaTeX subsystem will take care of that issue. Yeah, figures or tables, whatever, that will be numbered automatically, and using the appropriate key, even if you change any figure, the numbering will be set correctly upon running the source code. So this is how you include a figure in a document. So now let's move how to include tables in LaTeX. So basically, generally, students try to include a table as images inside the LaTeX document, but that should be highly discouraged, because the students are supposed to draw the tables on their own. So for drawing tables, we have commands. We have a table environment for drawing tables. So let's see that environment as well. So let's see how you can get a table, draw a table. So let's try with a new section. So we should be using the table environment for drawing the table. So just as you have figure environment for including the images in your document, you have this table environment. Here also you can specify the placement option where it should be placed. So let's try with B now. So even if it is not given, then LaTeX will appropriately find a place for your figure or table, whatever you give. Now earlier, in the case of figure, you had to use the figure environment to include an image, and to get the appropriate image in your document, you used include graphics. Same way here, what you should use is you can draw a table inside the document. For that, you should be using the tabular environment. So figure environment, similarly, you have a table environment that is for including a table. And for drawing the table manually using the LaTeX system, you should be using the tabular environment. So /begin tabular. That's what we are going to do now. So suppose I have maybe a 3-column table. One is roll number, second one is KTU register number or KTU ID, whatever you call, and third is name. So all of those columns needs to be centralized. Suppose you want to have like that. So we'll just have a table with 3 columns, and all of the columns wants to be you want them to be centralized, right? So you will just use 3C. So this 1C means that the first C means that first column contents will be centralized. Second C means that second column contents will be centralized, and third C means that third column contents will be centralized. So let us have a column. So maybe I can have something like this. First is roll number, right? So roll number. And to separate, go to the next column, you will be using the ampersand symbol. So ampersand symbol will separate 2 columns. So roll number, maybe KTU ID, and name. So let's see what happens. And just as you had caption for figures, you can also have caption and label for tables. Now, one standard that is generally followed is that captions are placed below the figure and captions are placed above a table. That's the standard generally followed. But even it's commonly seen that for tables also captions are placed below, but it's not the standard. Generally, the standard being followed is that for figures, the caption should be below the figure, and for tables, the caption should be above the table. That's the standard to be followed. See, even if you don't follow that, you won't get any error, but that's the standard that needs to be followed. So before begin tabular, you should have the caption here. Maybe row list or something. Here also you can have label. I just give it as role. Just run this. So you got the table, right? I had given the placement specifier to be bottom, so table got at the bottom. So table 1, the name is row list, and you got the 3 columns: roll number, KTU ID, and name. So remember, we didn't give centering, so it went to the left side. So here also you can give centering. So centering means it will go to the center. So now we got the table being centered. So now you find that this doesn't look actually like a table, right? Because we don't have that lines being shown here. So by default, it will not be shown. So if you want to have lines between the columns, that should be explicitly specified using the pipe symbol. So this means that between columns 1 and 2, you should have a vertical line. The second pipe symbol also can be put. So this means that between columns 2 and 3, you should have a vertical line. So let's recompile. So we got the vertical line. Now again, this doesn't look like a table because we want vertical lines between roll number, before roll number as well as after the name. So that also needs to be specified explicitly. So before the C, put a pipe symbol, a vertical line. After the C, put a C. So let's compile. So that's being done now. Now again, you will complain that this doesn't look like a table because we don't see the lines separating the rows, right? So we don't see the horizontal lines. So for getting horizontal lines, we will be using a command called /hline. Hline means horizontal line. So first we want to have a horizontal line, then only we need to have this row, right? So first we will start with horizontal line. So start with the horizontal line, Hline. And below this row also you need to have a horizontal line. So you need to go to the next line and then draw the horizontal line, right? So for going to the next line, you should just use the line break symbol. Then put Hline. Yeah, now this looks like a table. So roll number, KTU ID, and name. So this is what you call as a header row, right? Just gives the header names. Then below that we can have the real name, roll number details of the students. So for getting to the new line, again we can use the break line. So after this, you go to next line, maybe roll number 1, and maybe KTU ID is something like TVE 23 CS 001 and some name, maybe Abel June Jose. So again, I want to have the horizontal line. Yeah. So let's, as I told earlier, the column should be separated with ampersand symbols. Let's run that. So you got it. So roll number 1, KTU ID is this, and name of the student is Abel John Jose. So we will just wait for a few minutes so that you can try this out. Actually, there's a nice reason why we want to follow the standard, the table for tables caption should be placed at the top before the table, and for figures the caption should be placed below the figure. There's a nice document or nice reason for that. Maybe you can Google it out and find what exactly, why exactly we want to follow the standard. And just as you had label with here also I have included a label. I can also use /ref for referring to this table, just as you did with figures. So suppose instead of KTU ID, I have college name, a college, and suppose I give the college as College of Engineering, Trivandrum. Let's run that. So you got that the column got enlarged automatically, right? So that's the advantage. You need not set the size; it will be the size will be set automatically. Now, still, suppose you don't want the column to be of this much width. You want to be of lesser width, and you want to have what you call as word wrap. That is automatically the line, the larger words get to the next line. Something like that. If you want to have, then you could specify the width of the column. So instead of C, next you should be using P. Then P means paragraph mode. So P 5 centimeter or something. So what it means, maybe I will just give 3 centimeter. So what it means is that width of that column will be 3 centimeter, and it will be for paragraph mode. So just run that. So after 3 centimeter, automatically this got broken and it went to the next line. So still, if I want to make it more wider, maybe 4 or something, that's also possible. And this looks more good. So if you want to have larger text being inserted into your table cell and that wants to span multiple lines, then you can use this P specifier instead of C. And what is the width of that column that you want, you can also specify along with that P. Just 2 minutes, we will try. If you want to try out this, you can try out. Bindu ma'am, when are we supposed to wind up? Because it's almost done from my side. Maybe no, what I'm asking is actually if the participants want, we can have maybe some 10 or 15 minutes on three. No, no, what I'm asking is from my side, it's almost done. Now, what if the participants want, maybe we can have some time to be spent on creating presentations, just as you have PowerPoint presentations. Presentations can be done using LaTeX also. Nice looking presentations can be done using LaTeX also. So that to be done, but that might require some 10 or 15 minutes, or maybe some 20 minutes, at most 20 minutes. So if it is required, we will do that, or if the time is a bit short, then we will just try to go for Q&A session. I am ready for both. Yeah, okay. So maybe so you just mean to share that a source document for creating PDF document, this thing, presentation. Okay, so that's then fine.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah, sure.
Is possible to merge it to columns or rows?
No, I didn't get you, ma'am.
In normal Word document,
Ah.
we can merge it to rows or
Yeah,
two columns.
that's also possible. We have something called multi-column, wherein you can merge two columns. So, for example, maybe uh, so suppose yeah, let me just show the output 1 second. So, for example, for the next row, you want the columns 1 and 2 to be merged. That's also possible. For example, let's see how that can be done. So, what I'm going to do is for the next row, this is fine. This will be kept as such. For the next row, we'll just merge the first two columns, and just we'll just have the third column. So for that, we will be using a command called multi-column. So after this H line, we want to go to next line. So we move to next line. Now we want to merge columns, right? So we'll be using multi-column, multi-column. So we want to call merge two columns means that should be given as 2. And the text should be centered, right? So give it as C. And what is to be the content of your text? You just give it maybe merge the column or something. So first two columns will be merged to a single column. Then you can go for the third column. Again, you can have H line. So let's try running this. So you got like this. Now you will see some discrepancy here because we didn't get the vertical line. That's because we didn't specify the pipe symbol here, vertical line here. So we just specified it as C. So the vertical line didn't come. So whenever you want to have the vertical line, that should be mentioned, right? Just as we did here. So just put a pipe here and after C also, then just compiling, you will get the desired result. Yeah. So first two columns got merged, and we just had the third column. So this is how you merge columns, multi-column. Similarly, you can have also multi-row. So basically, multi-column works like this. How many columns you want to merge, and what is the position of the text in those merged columns, and what is the content to be displayed in the merged column. So if you have tried it well, then we'll move on. Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you. Now I will just try to mention a few points, and we'll try to wind it up. One thing is the thing that we really face frequently, the student names are of varying length, right? So if you use centralized here, what will happen is it might not look properly. So generally we try to left align the student name column. So that is also possible with LaTex. Instead of C, you can just use L. L means left align. And if you want it right align, you can use R as well. So that the names now will be left aligned. See, it was left aligned actually. And the name header itself went left aligned. So now actually you see some sort of discrepancy here, right? Because we want the headers to be centralized, but the name of the student to be left aligned. That's the header row, that is roll number, college, and name. That header row, we want the columns to be centralized. But when it comes to the name of the students as such, we want it to be left aligned. So what we have done is we have done like using the L specifier, L position, L specifier for the third column. So entire thing will be left aligned, right? So suppose you want to have this name alone to be centralized, right? So that's what we want. So we'll just have a tweak, that is we'll use multi-column in a interesting way. So instead of this college is, this name is what you want to be centralized, right? So we'll just use multi-column here also. So we'll just keep columns as one, because we just want to do it with one, right? And position is again, suppose you just give it as center, right? So sorry, for this center, and this name is what you want to have centralized. Let's see what happens now. So we got the desired output. So we want the student names to be left aligned. So that caused the header also to be left aligned. So we want the header alone to be centralized. Means what you can do is you can intelligently tweak your multi-column command. So multi-column can be used here. So instead of merging two, we just keep it on one. So we just wrote it as multi-column one, and the contents to be centralized, and the content is name. So in this way, the header alone will be centralized, and the remaining column contents will be left aligned. Shall we just proceed further? Any issues with that? So one last point I wish to mention here is that just a few minutes. So here you find that there is very little space between the table caption and the table itself, right? So that can also be tweaked. You can specify the spacing between the table caption and the table itself. So for that, you need to have a package called caption package. So I'll be using the package caption. Yeah. Then you can specify the spacing. So just give like this caption setup. Yeah, caption setup. The caption setup, this is for table, right? So write it. If you want the caption to be set up for figure, you can do include write figure here. Now we are doing this for table, so just a table here. Now we want the vertical spacing, right? So it's called skip. So skip equal to some maybe 10 pt or something. The vertical space that you want to have, just mentioned here. Let's see what happens. So you got that much space between the caption and the table, right? So this can be done for figure also. So in that case, you need to just mention that the caption is being set up for figure, and just you can use this option. So that's all from my side. If you have any doubts, you can just try to, I will try to just answer it. So are there any queries?
Sir, as a single LaTeX program, how many package can be used? Any limitations for that?
No. There are no limitations for that. You can use any number of packages as you wish, depending on the scenario that you want to have in your LaTeX document.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, for inserting page numbering, you can just specify like there is something like this. So you need to use a package called fancy header. Yeah, header spelling is HDR. Then you just give the page numbering as, yeah, just before the document. Yeah, here just give it as, after the title, just give it as page numbering gobble or something. So it will be like the page number will come automatically. Yeah, sorry, it didn't come. Just 1 second. second. Sorry, it's not gobble. Sorry, what do you want as page number, right? So I think it should be, yeah, you want Arabic, can be done here. Arabic, yeah. So you got it, page numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. Gobble will actually switch off the page numbers. I made a mistake here. Gobble means page number will not be displayed. So the package is fancy header, and you just give the whatever you want. If you want to have A, B, C, etc., you can just use alpha here, alpha here, just as you had with enumerate option. And there is also a nice command called / table of contents that will just create a table of contents automatically with the sections, subsections, and the titles. That's also possible. And again, there are various, whatever you have commands given by the LaTeX subsystem, there are ways to tweak it, to fine tune it to the way you want to. And there are also various options that you can give along with fancy header. What you want to have in the header, what you want to have in the footer, all those stuff. Everything can be tweaked using relevant options with the package. And it's also possible, like first page alone have a different header or footer than the other pages. And you don't want to have the first page to have headers or footers, only the others need to be displayed. All those, everything is possible. You just need to give appropriate commands or give appropriate tweaks for or options for all those tweaking. That's it. And there are also, if being an FDP, I'm telling this. There are also packages that will help you to create beautiful looking question papers. There is a package called exam, not really package, sorry. There is a document class, exam document class. Just as we have article document class, there is a package, there's an document class called exam that will help you to create beautiful question papers, descriptive question papers. And there is another document class called exam doc that will help you to create questions, objective type question papers. You can have multiple choice questions, true and false questions, true or false questions, match the following, fill in the blanks. All those stuff can be done. Exam doc is to be used when you want to have objective type question paper, and descriptive type question paper means you need to use exam package. So not real package, exam document class. And one good thing with exam doc class is that suppose you are conducting some objective question class test for your course, and you don't want to have, you want to control the malpractice such that two adjacent students don't get the same question paper. That's you want to. You want to shuffle the questions, so the questions will be same, but the questions are being shuffled. That's also possible with LaTeX. You can just use the exam doc, and you can just mention like number of versions you want. So if you give the number of versions to be 4, then the same questions, 4 version question papers will be generated automatically. And it's also possible that you can give the answers for the questions, and automatically, as the version changes, the questions get shuffled, and the keys answer key will be also generated automatically. You need not do anything from your side. You just use number of versions, or you just give a number of versions before. There's a command like with the same name slash number of versions. So if you give it as 4, then 4 versions will be created, and it will be automatically labeled like A, B, C, D, etc. That will be labeled automatically. The version will be labeled automatically. Very beautiful looking question papers can be generated using that. Exam doc is for objective questions papers, and exam is for descriptive. And for, I mean, I'm just telling from my personal experience. I have been using LaTeX for, I mean, since my BTech, and all the question papers that I have put, I used only LaTeX, this exam package. So once you have done the format, you can just change the questions. That's it. Because Word, if you touch here, the formatting could get disturbed. So it takes time. But this thing, LaTeX, once you set the template, you can reuse it in number of times. Yeah, I should be thankful that you gave an opportunity for me. Anyway, I initially we had planned it as a one-day long session, one-day long program, but I had some health issues, and I had to forcefully break it into 2 sessions on 2 different days. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, the participants, I believe you had a nice time with with this 2 sessions, and I think most of them did it hands-on, and based on the query, based on difficulties they faced, the questions were also asked, and it was also nice experience for me as well. Anyway, thank you once again all. Thank you.